Cora, yeah, Cora, yeah, Cora, yeah,
Hi, family. I'm Stephanie Wade. I'm her boss self. And I am in my kitchen again, getting ready to try to cook. And I will share a little of why I felt like cooking this. I actually been feeling like eating this for a couple days, but I had to get one main ingredient so I could fix it. I had everything else, guys. I really did. So anyway, how it happened was other day I had sweet potatoes, and I actually have bought too many sweet potatoes for me to fix for myself to just have candied yams or candied sweet potatoes. So I thought, sweet potato bread, that will work. And then I'm like, the only reason why I was thinking it is because subliminally I had looked at a recipe some days before, and it was like in the back of my mind, and so it was like really, really fresh. And I'm like, I know I saw it in a cookbook. Which one was that? The Dookie Chase cookbook by Leah Chase. And I'm Creole, y'all. So I really wanted it. My grandmother and them used to fix it. My grandmother and my mama. So this is always inside of my head too. The motherland and being Creole and Texan. And that together with my relatives equal eating a lot of the cultural foods of Louisiana. And because we left from Louisiana and moved to Texas, so the culture just follows the person that's doing the cooking. So in that case, it was my grandmother and my mother. They called it sweet potato bread. And I had a Caribbean cookbook a while back, and they called it sweet potato pone. And I was amazed when I got this book that inside of this cookbook, it also called it sweet potato pone. And I'll give y'all a link where you can go online where somebody else has taken the time to print out the recipes, and I'm sure gotten all the right permits for it to be copied and printed out. So anyway, I'm just letting y'all see it just inside of the book. The author is with the ancestors now. So I will just give you that link later. But it's definitely called sweet potato pone. And it could be eaten for breakfast, like a breakfast bread, or anytime really. My relatives fix sweet potato bread for any time. Some people use it as a side dish, but in my family it was like the big event. You had the sweet potato bread. You and your cousins all want to fight for the ends, because to me the ends was the most crunchy part, like crunchy on the outside and still moist, so we used to fight for those end pieces, no matter where it was in the pan, long as it had some end to it. The middle we still ate, but wasn't the same, So anyway, guys, my grandmother and mother both made wonderful sweet potato bread. I will be cooking mine in a glass pan, but they used to cook it in pans that sometimes had little rust spots in them or holes in them. And they would just put what we used to call a rag in the hole to plug it up, because they didn't throw away anything. They recycled or repurposed everything. And then they just used wax paper inside of the pan if it had some imperfection in it, you know, and the wax paper actually kept whatever was in the pan, you know, or foil paper, but mostly wax because it was easier to get out of the pan. But if they was lucky and just had a regular old pan with no imperfections, they'll put a lot of butter in the pan and it will slip out that way. Me, for my show and tell, I'll let y'all see a repurposed bottle that I'm going to be using as my spoon rest. I put it in the keel, my glass keel, and it's got dragonflies on it on that side. But this is the side, you know, that you lay your spoon in. So it'll be for good use today. Holding a little spoon while I'm mixing my ingredients and everything. So anyway, how are y'all doing today? I know y'all saw my earrings, the ones that watched my video that I posted earlier. Know Your Roots came from Houston, Texas. The same person's booth that I got the Angela Davis earrings. I really like these. Know Your Roots. So anyway, and this necklace, I made this part in the keel. And then I just added that part to make it a necklace. And I just bought this rope that goes in there, you know. So anyway, I'm not wearing anything else African-ish today, y'all. Just a regular old shirt and just some jeans. But anyways, I just wanted to get that out the way. Like I said, I will give y'all a link where y'all can see the ingredients and how it's mixed. But this is how it starts off. It's shredded potatoes. And that's how it started off. And I just grated on the big side of the grater. Not hard to do, but it's time consuming. So anyway, when I get to the next step, I will let y'all know. At least I know how to connect the video pieces together now. So I'll be with y'all in a little while and let y'all see the next step, okay? Well, guys, I'm done grating my sweet potatoes. It was actually 4 sweet potatoes. You know, you saw it was uncooked and grated up on the large side. So anyways, that's how it looks, y'all. Next step. All right, guys, I'm letting y'all know up front. I don't use the exact recipes because I still got my mama and me and my grandmother. I used to put a little pinch of this and a little pinch of that. Well, me, because I'm diabetic, I used less sugar. I had some coconut sugar, so I used that, a cup of that, and then I had raw sugar, and I used a cup of that. So it's up to you to play with that recipe that I'll send you a link to. But just know that I didn't exactly stick to that recipe. I'm like substituting stuff and leaving stuff out. Like I said, it's a whole cup of sugar less I'm using, and I'm mixing the raw sugar and the coconut sugar. Because I already had the coconut sugar there, so I was like, let me just use it up while I have it. And then the raw sugar, same difference. I had that and I use it. I don't use the white sugar anymore. So anyway, I have to go sit down someplace and mix up this sugar and See, the coconut sugar is the brown one, and the raw sugar is the other one. But it's definitely not white. But next to that dark coconut sugar, it looks like it. But it's just plain old generic raw sugar. Because as my mama say, a cup is a cup. Raw sugar is raw sugar far as I'm concerned. So anyway, I just have to mix up this butter with the sugar like back in the day when people used to actually mix all of the ingredients and work from scratch and decide what was good for them when they was even using a recipe. Most people substituted for things that they liked or use less if they decided they didn't really want it to be that sweet or whatever. So me, I just don't want it to be that sweet because I don't want my blood sugar to be jumping sky high because I put too much sugar in there. Because a lot of people really like that sugar rush, and so they cook with that sugar. And the recipe is old. And back in the day, people didn't know that having too much sugar was not good for you. So they use a lot of sugar in recipes, you know. And they use a lot of eggs too. I'm going to still leave the egg alone because they didn't use flour in the recipe. So I'll find out how it turns out, guys. And y'all will get to see it too. But anyway, I got to go sit down somewhere and mix this up. Be back with you in a little bit. Well, guys, I have actually creamed the butter and the sugar. Yep, nice and creamed together. Made a little touching that pan makes it like that, but see, it'll be fine once I add the eggs. So, on to the next step, y'all. I'm getting ready to add the eggs slowly into the mixture. And it's just a matter of breaking the egg and dropping it in a pan or a bowl. And then just stir it one egg at a time. See, there's the egg. So they say slowly, so I'm just gonna add it to the mixture slowly like they said, and it'll be one egg at a time. That's all. So anyways, I'll get back with y'all when I get done adding my eggs. Well, guys, I added all of the eggs in there. Slowly. So it's nice and creamy now. So on to the next step. Well, guys, I added the spices to the mixture. And now it's all mixed up looking. I'll turn the camera around so y'all can see in just a second, okay? This is the mixture with all of the spices added. Now all I got to do is add the grated sweet potatoes. Now the grated sweet potatoes, I will add them to the mixture. They remind me of carrots when they grate it like this. But anyway, guys, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to add it to it. That's pretty much it. They said add it to it, so I will. And I have the glass baking dish in the oven melting about a tablespoon of butter in it. My mother and grandmother would have used way more than that, but I greased the dish already just a little bit. But I do want to have that buttery taste to it. I don't know how much that one stick of butter I used in there will make it buttery, but that little pinch of the liquid butter, as far as I'm concerned, it'll do the trick. Because I remember they used to use a lot of butter in that pan when they was cooking anything. And it's not anything I do all the time, y'all. This is the first time I've done this type recipe in years and years. Years and years. If it weren't for me coming across that cookbook, I promise you, I would have never thought about this sweet potato bread, aka sweet potato pound. And no, like I said, I didn't use all of the recipe because I always change up my recipes. But I will give you the link to the recipe that inspired this one, because I found it online. But I bought the cookbook myself, and I ordered that cookbook online not knowing that it was signed by Dookie Chase herself. And the people that bought it got her to write something in it for them. But it was just one of those books that you buy, the used books. So I just got lucky, y'all. Imagine getting a autographed copy of someone's book and them no longer with us. Not like I could have got a book and got her to sign it for me. So it doesn't have my name in it when she signed it. But it doesn't matter, it's a signed copy. Same difference to me. And I would have liked the book whether it was signed or not, but I was just so happy about that when I saw it was signed. But anyway, guys, this is what the mixture looks like. Hope y'all can see it. I'll take a still picture in a sec. But anyway, I'll be pouring it in a pan in a minute. I'll do a still picture so you can see that too. Well, guys, that's the mixture poured into the pan. I just got to put it in the oven now. And I just grated it. I just sprinkled it with grated nutmeg. But I already had the little bottle of the grated nutmeg. So I'm just letting y'all know. Grated nutmeg sprinkled on top just before you put it in the oven. Now I got 300 degrees. Supposed to be in there for about an hour. All I got to do now, y'all, is just wait for an hour and check and see if it's done. And if it's not done, I have to leave it in there a little longer because, as with everything else, some ovens' temperature control is different than others. So it says 300 degrees for about an hour. So in an hour, I'll check and see how it looks. If it looks like the pudding is set, I'll take it out and let it cool off. But if it still looks like it's, not thick enough, I'll leave it in there just a little bit longer, like in 5-minute intervals, just to check. But anyway, I'll let y'all see the results. Well, guys, I just got it out of the oven, and it is nice. Nice crust. Guess the nutmeg did its magic. Just out of the oven, y'all. I'll let y'all know how it tastes once it cools off a little bit. Very nice though, y'all. Nice and set. Well, guys, I cut a piece of the pie. Well, the bread, the sweet potato bread. I'll let y'all see in a minute how it looks in the plate. Okay? Well, guys, that's it in the plate. Getting ready to taste it. Well, guys, thank y'all for hanging in there with me. Like I said, the ends piece, and y'all know, the longer it sits, it's gonna make it hold together better too. It's just as hot right now, but I couldn't wait. It is good. The only thing different my grandmother and them did was, I think they put a little bit of flour in their recipe, maybe like a tablespoon or so, you know, as a binder, even though the egg is a binder. And maybe the more sugar makes it more candy-like. Believe y'all me though, it's sweet enough. And as it gets colder, it's gonna hold this form better. Right now it's still pretty hot, but I actually like to eat my food fresh out the oven once it cools off just a little. So it's good, y'all. So hopefully y'all can experiment with the recipe and enjoy. Until next time, guys. Here's my piece of pie. I mean, sweet potato pone, sweet potato bread. Till next time, peace, peace. Power to the people. And I'm out, y'all. Bye.